What's going on? My name's Amy. Welcome to the channel. I am wrapping up 6 months as a day trader. This is the end of the month here, just about. You'll get one more video from me because I'm actually doing Thursday's recap, and then I'll be sharing Friday's recap on the channel. So basically, well, first things first. Amy's Trading Tribe on Telegram is growing by leaps and bounds. We are pushing 400 members. If you want to come trade live with me and other beginner traders, it's kind of like a support group, accountability group, very positive vibes. Some people are paper trading. Some people are doing what I did in the beginning of trading, one share, two shares, just trying to learn and practice. So feel free to jump in. It's free to join. There's a link in the description and in the comments section. Secondly, my day trading resources, free list of resources I've used, videos, books, things like that to help me on my day trading journey. My biggest mentor right now, if you've been watching at all in the last couple of weeks, has been Ross Cameron. And I have kind of developed my own strategy of trading around his criteria for stock selection. So I put together some of the resources that helped me early on, some of Ross's stuff, mix of that. You can just enter your email and get access to that document down below. Lastly, the emotions tracker for traders, just something I'm working on for June. I wanted to do something different with the way I journal. And so I'm going to be using this printed PDF and basically just trying to dial it in a little bit with, hey, this has been working for me, basically like honing in on where are my emotions before entering the trade, while I'm in the trade, getting out, how I felt throughout that process and just having a better way to document. So if you're interested, that's the only thing that's paid. You can check it out down below. But let's get into today. Oh, I should say Thursday. I'm actually recording this a day later. But this was the first time in a while where I jumped up in share size in terms of doubling. Now, granted, Wednesday, I traded, instead of my normal 2 shares, which I've been trading for a while, Wednesday I traded 10 shares and I had a green day, and that marked the end of Amy's green streak. Today was not a green day, or Thursday, it was a red day, but I was really proud of how things went, and I'll share with you the details on that. So, basically, I felt like I've got this strategy, things are flowing, things are working, and I wanted to bump up share size. So I went from trading 10 shares in the trade on Wednesday to 20 on Thursday. And I got an ALZN. Now, the time I got into the trade was 6:31 a.m. my time Pacific, so just after the open. And in hindsight, it's one of those things. It's a total crapshoot getting in that quickly after the opening bell. And yet I followed all my rules. I followed my strategy. I had my setup and all of that. So I, in no way, shape, or form, beat myself up over it. I think trading that first half hour or first 10, 15 minutes after the open, you just have to realize, I could win, and I could win fast and big, or I could have it go the other way. And it's just a total numbers game, right? If you're doing all the things that you normally do that give you your edge, sometimes it just doesn't work out. And unfortunately, that's what happened with this trade, which is totally fine. I really liked that psychologically, I was totally okay jumping from 10 shares to 20 shares. And I haven't traded 20 shares in months, guys. Seriously, it's been months since I traded that many shares. So I get in ALZN at $7.96. And to me, that was a psychological level at 8. I was like, okay, if it's holding 8, I'm going to try to get in on a little tiny pullback there, which has been working for me. And that's basically what happened. I got in, it scooped me up on the pullback. And then quite quickly, it decided to reverse. And instead of the stock going up, and like most of my green trades where, immediately I'm in the green, I kind of get the bounce or whatever, this one just went the other way. So it happens. I had a stop at 776. So it was 20 cents per share loss on this trade. So 20 shares, I only lost $4. I thought that was pretty good. I think it's all about lately, when you have your risk management tight and you feel like you can trust yourself, right? Getting in and out of the trade when you're supposed to. Now, this particular trade, I will say, because it was after the opening bell, I had a 3-way limit order put in. So I had a hard stop, I had a take profit level, and my buy order all linked together in Thinkorswim. So it was kind of one of these trades where it's like, okay, create your plan, know your risk, execute. And that's exactly what happened. Never felt any kind of issue. Like I even wrote in my notes, like I was calm, cool, and collected. And getting into the trade, no hesitation or anything like that. It just, I saw potential signal to get in, and I did. And it just, you'll see it on the candle here, what happened. So basically, I'm in this like large green candle here, which is kind of funny. Getting in, it's picking up my order somewhere kind of up in here, I think, because I was basically hoping for the break of 8. And then it just flushes, like, it just comes all the way down to, let's see, where are we at here? Yeah, like 7. Well, I got stopped at 776. That candle ended up stopping eventually at 730, it looks like. So mitigated the risk. And then, after that, the stock just sold off. I think it went back up to 8, but, I got in at 796. So there really wasn't much reward here on this trade. And then ALZN just basically sold off, throughout the rest of that. So it was one of these trades where thankfully, it wasn't like I just got in at the wrong time and then it rips without me. No, it, executed, had my stop, had my risk management in place, and the stock did not go where I thought it might go. So, it happens. Like I said, everything went right in this trade. It just was one of those, didn't go in my favor. That's all. So, yeah. And I think it was just really nice to be able to increase share size. And because of the way I've been conditioning my mindset, and if you've been watching any of the last couple videos, you'll remember this. And if you haven't, if you're new, I encourage you to go back and see what's been working for me and why I had these, 5 green trading days over almost 2 weeks. Because that is really starting to roll into the overall strategy for me. And by that, I mean, I was trading small all those other days. Now, there was one day I jumped from 2 shares to 10 shares and I was green. And then, here I am jumping and doubling. And in the past, my mind used to kind of mess with me and say, oh, it's because you doubled your share size, you're jumping up too fast or whatever. And it's like, sometimes it's just the luck of the draw, And so instead of looking at it like that, I was just like, well, I had a bunch of winning trades back to back, and so what? I have one that didn't play out, but I followed all my rules and I did everything like I would normally do. Who cares, right? Going back to this mantra of I don't care. That's really been helping me with my emotions, because if I get into a trade and I feel my heart racing, palms getting sweaty, and I'm so intently focused on staring at the screen and the chart and the level 2, then it's like, you really just kind of paralyze your ability to take action and think clearly. And by telling myself, before getting into trades, like I just kind of check my emotions. Am I calm? Am I good? Do we have confidence in this trade? Because there's sometimes where all the parameters line up. It's like you got your setup, everything looks right on the chart. Your level 2, is encouraging. It's, kind of like a go signal. But I've had some times where I've been about to hit send on my order, and I do a gut check, and I'm like, ooh, for whatever reason, I just don't feel confident. And I won't put in the order. And I swear, 9 times out of 10, that thing will flush right after that. So had I gone through with everything just based on A, B, C, D lining up, but I had something telling me in my gut not to, yeah, I would definitely have had more losses. And even over this winning streak I had, there was several times where I canceled orders, where I would have gotten in, it would have been a loss, it would have hit my stop, whether it was mental or hard stop. And I'm just like, oh, that's just really good to feel like there's something kind of guiding you based on, your own intuition, but also just, I feel like it's coming from experience being on the charts. And now also including level 2 data, where people are kind of asking me like, what do you look for on level 2? How are you reading level 2? Well, there was a book I recommended, and let me see if I can pull it up for you guys again, that's helped me to sort of understand a little bit more what level 2 and time and sales is about. But it's kind of one of these things where I don't even know exactly what I'm doing looking at it. And it's just like, okay, sometimes the gut instinct comes into play when I see the price action, and certain times I'll kind of almost like hear this thought in my head, like watch for support, and like say it's at like 650, and I'm like, in my brain, I'm like thinking, okay, let's see if it holds 650. And that, watching the numbers on the level 2 ticker tape, it's like, okay, if you then start to see that it's not holding 650, you start seeing sales going through at 648, like sellers are selling off 647, 646, then like, okay, it's not holding. Like there's just certain things that will come into place or into play when you kind of just trust your gut, you watch what's happening. And like I said, it's hard to put into words. Like this guy's book does a better job of explaining things, but it's called Day Trading Momentum Level 2 and Reading the Tape. Robertus Saponis is his name. I've got a link directly to the book in my day trading resources. Again, you can get free access to that. Just put your email in down below. And yeah, it's just the guy actually, he even says like how hard it is to write a book about level 2. Like, I'm barely able to explain it. He does a lot better job, but it helped me to just kind of like feel a little more guided with my trading in general. And what I've also started to do, and I just kind of noticed this maybe like the third winning day I had or whatever, where I will pull stuff up on the charts. And that's kind of like, okay, here's my watch, Oh, and many people ask this too. Scanners, like what do I use for scanners? Well, I'm currently in Ross Cameron's trial, the $19 trial. So I have access to his day trade dash right now. I'm using that, but I'm also still using my free stuff, which is Momo free scanner. You can just Google that. And there's one called Trade Life Mastery, and then Zendu on YouTube. So kind of a mix of those. And then sometimes in the tribe, like on my Telegram group, people will call out certain things that maybe they pull up on their scanners. And then I'll, just basically pull it up on my Robinhood charts over here. I love Robinhood Legend. Like, their charts are so beautiful. I wish all the platforms look like this. So I'll pull stuff up over here. And what I noticed was that's kind of like the preliminary, let's check it out. Let's see how the stock looks. And then I'll pull up Thinkorswim, and I've got level 2 tape and all that, time and sales. And then I'll start watching that. So occasionally I'll go back, look at the chart, see what kind of candles are forming, but knowing full well that data is slightly delayed, right? This is stuff that's happened versus level 2 time and sales is happening. And I'm kind of just trying to train my eyes to scan from one to the other, get the picture, look at it. Okay, what's actually going on here? Versus in the past, I feel like I've been misled many times by only staring at the chart. Because, again, you're getting the data a little bit delayed. This is sales that have already gone through and orders. So yeah, it's kind of just a learning process, right? But back to today with the emotions, with doubling my share size, it was great. Like it just was so nice to do that, because the last time I tried to do this, I felt a little panicky. I felt like, oh my gosh, I got to cut my losses like even faster. And, even though I had the risk set up where I knew what I was, putting on the line previously, it still would freak me out a little bit because, maybe I went from max losses of like $1, $1.50 to $4 or $5 by doubling. And even though it's not that much money, right? But psychologically it used to mess with me. So today or Thursday, it was just really nice to take all this experience, these winning streak I had, could see what was working on the emotions, and to put that into a day where it was a red day, but I didn't have the typical issues crop up, right? So anyways, that was Thursday, ALZN, oh well, it happens. You know, I think also, like I said, just getting in at the opening, it's a crapshoot. Like there's been times where I win and I'm like, yeah, like I'm in and out in like 30 seconds, you know, it goes your way immediately. And then there's other times today or Thursday, it was like almost immediately, no, it didn't go your way, and then it never did. So it is what it is, guys. But anyways, come join us in Amy's Telegram group, Trading Tribe, down below. We trade live every morning, usually just before 4 a.m. my time, 7 a.m. Eastern. And then some people trade, you know, the open throughout the day. Some people trade the close. There's people from other countries in there. So there's probably somebody online at any point in time. If you're in a weird time zone, feel free, you know, come join us. And also the day trading resources, like I said, I put that level 2 book link in the day trading resources, so you can check that out. And then if you want to do the tracker like I'm going to be doing for June, feel free to check that out. Link down below, everything description, comments, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.